Welcome back. It's the Lagos segment of the conversation. And today, I tell you, we have a lot to talk about because our Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has been working assiduously to ensure Lagos residents are not lacking in any of what they deserve. Joy?
Yeah. It's been 1 year since Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was sworn in as Governor of Lagos State for a second term. And you know, Lagos, the populous state in the country,
popular.
Yes,
has 20 million, over 20
over
million.
20 million residents, you know, has its own unique challenges and, of course, opportunities. And today we'll be discussing how well has Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration fared, you know, in the last 1 year. Has he been able to keep up with the promises made during his campaign and all? And to do justice to our topic today, we have with us Prince Adeniyi Jafojo, a political analyst, to take a comprehensive look at Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration in the first year of his second term. You're welcome, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
So if you begin this conversation from your own point of view, how well has Governor Babajide fared?
Well, I think Mr. Governor has done very well. Because if you look at, he has taken giant strides. And is what I always say from my own point of view, that he's a listening governor. He hears what the people are saying, you know, and tries to work with them based on that. For example, we look at Onjeko, you know, it was a subsidized, they subsidized the cost of food. And people were able to go to those markets regardless of where you are in Lagos State and get it at a subsidized price, you know. And there are so many programs that he has come up with. One of the programs that he did that me personally, it has been one of the things that I've always said we should do is, which they just signed a partnership with a Dutch company. And that is turning waste into energy. We have so much waste in this country. And from what we heard in terms of the partnership, that the company will turn that waste to energy and provide electricity to 40 houses in Lagos State, which means some of those people will be taken off the national grid. They won't be part of I don't know what you know, we people in the old school would say NEPA. You know, the new school we say disco. So that's it. I'm giving away my age when I say NEPA. So, but you know, those kind of things. That's what we are talking about. If we look at a lot of rehabilitation on the roads, they have rehabilitated and constructed new roads, new flyovers, like the latest one that I know of, because I'm very familiar with Ikeja and Agege.
You also have a Chiaba.
You know, so the flyover along Ikeja very close to the phone place. You know, those kind of things. You know, like in my own local government, for example, the road that was fully constructed, it was formerly called Dokpemu Road, but we have changed it from Dokpemu Road to Sanwo-Olu Road. So it's, you know, and it's well constructed, well tarred, very, you know, so you have a lot of those things that if we sit here and talk about, I don't think 1 hour would do justice.
But to have a constructive conversation, we would have to take it sector by sector.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, was it earlier this week or sometime last week? I think it was earlier this week when there was a report that the federal government has sued 36 state governors over not giving the local government full autonomy. And the governor himself, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has, you know, come to disclaim that no, Lagos State shouldn't be part of that list. How would you, you know, rate the autonomy of local government here in Lagos State?
Well, you know, I cannot speak for any other state. I can only speak for Lagos State, for certain reasons. One, I'm a Lagosian, and I'm a Wari man. So I'm an indigene of Lagos State. So, and analyzing what has been done between the state government and the local government, you will see that a lot of things has been done. like the governor has rightly said, there's no way in the world Lagos State should be on that list. Because if you go around to the different local governments, you will see a lot of new innovations coming into it. You know, yeah, a lot of new roads that have been, because the governor always comes up with so many roads they are going to fix. And it's the local government chairman that will bring the list of those roads that needs to be rehabilitated. So it's a working partnership. Sure. And there's no way the local government and the state government, they must work together. They must have a synergy. If they don't have a synergy, there's no way we can. What we are enjoying today, we won't enjoy it if that synergy was not there. So I think I give kudos to Mr. Governor for the great job he's doing.
Okay, so let's talk about how well he has done in the transportation sector. As we speak, the governor is on his way to Badore to commission ferries. Well, the short will be fleshed as we're talking.
Made in Lagos,
15,
yes.
Ferries. Commercial ferries in Badore. So how well has Mr. Governor done in the transportation sector?
Well, you know, when he was campaigning, one of the areas he was talking about in terms of the themes, transportation is part of it.
Yes, it is.
You know, so and we know that one of the biggest problems in Lagos has been the traffic. So if by creating more ferries, you know, like 40 passenger ferries, constructing them, people might not, if I want to go to Ikorodu now, or I want to go from Island to Ikorodu, I don't necessarily have to go by road. I can go by ferry. So it reduces
traffic congestion on the
traffic
road.
congestion. So that is because you see, we have to, one of the problems we've been having is that a lot of our governors, except Lagos, they don't look inward. You have to look inward to see what can I do to better the life of my people. You know, and that is what is being done in Lagos State. They are looking at different alternatives, not just the same way. If we do the thing,
this is the short, the governor.
Okay.
Presently on his way to Badore right now for the commissioning of the commercial ferries. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. So if we keep doing things the same way, we are going to keep getting the same result. In order to get a positive result, we need to do it differently. And that is one of the things you see Mr. Governor doing.
Also yesterday, the unveiling of the transport policy document. What's your take on that?
You see, like I said, everything that he's doing, he has a listening ear to the people. And the job of a governor, I call a governor of any state a chief servant, is because he's there to serve the people. So, and if he's serving the people, he must have a listening ear to what the people want. You cannot say, because I'm the governor, then I'll do things the way I want to be done. But Mr. Governor, one of the things that I do appreciate about him a lot is that he has a listening ear. Not all governors in Nigeria have a listening ear. That is a documented fact. So, basically, because there are so many programs. If you look at, in terms of transport now, we're talking about.
There's so many.
There's so many. Because if you talk about the CCTV cameras placed in strategic locations, yes, in terms of traffic, but at the same time, it's going to help our security. You know, because if anything happens to a person in the car, maybe in the traffic or whatever, that CCTV camera will pick it up. You know, so it's countless. It's countless of ideas, and these are new innovations, and these are all things he stated in his campaign under themes that he was going to do, and he's doing it. We are seeing it doing it.
Okay, let's look at the key infrastructural projects, you know, completed under his administration. How have they, you know, impacted Lagos residents fully?
Well, for example, if you're driving a car and the road is bad, your car is going to feel it. Every time you're going to be going to the mechanic and doing the shock absorber or doing what have you. But by fixing of this road, when you have a tarred road, you know, it makes life easier for that person, that resident of Lagos State. because you find out that you won't have to be going to the mechanic as many times as you used to before. And that is why one of the things that we talk about in terms of roads now, it's those rehabilitations of roads and even construction of new roads, flyovers. You know, this flyover, instead of me, like before the flyover was there, before I will have to go under the bridge, I don't necessarily need to go under there. I don't have anything I'm doing there. But since now that I'm going to the other side, I can just go on the flyover, and the person that wants to do something around under the bridge can do it. So it makes life easy, and you save time. You can get to where you are in a timely fashion.
Yes. Okay, since subsidy was removed by President Bola Tinubu, there have been an outcry by Lagos residents, Ibim Bawa, and all that. And Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu came up with initiatives to cushion that effect in the area of transportation, where they introduced a 25% fare reduction, the food assistance, which you mentioned, and healthcare support, which is what I am really, really particular about when he announced that in state-owned hospitals, women can come, pregnant women can come to give birth for free, whether natural or cesarean. Does Lagos State have enough personnel, to handle that particular area? And have you been monitoring? And how has these initiative, how has it worked, for Lagos residents in the health sector?
In the health sector, there are state hospitals. Yes, I don't think the issue is if we have enough personnel.
It is assumed because of the brain drain?
Yes, yeah, it's not. I think, from my own point of view, that the issue has always been money. Finance, because some of those doctors that are working maybe 20 hours or 30 hours, how many hours, they want, maybe, I don't know how much they're collecting, but they want a higher wage pay, so those are the issues. But in terms of personnel, I think we are okay. But at the same time, the governor if we are going to attach, he did what I like to refer to as living wage. Living wage is different from minimum wage. People get that confused. Minimum wage is something that has been set up by the federal government, backed legally. While living wage is something that maybe a governor or an employer has decided that, okay, apart from your salary, I'll be giving you extra money, and that's when the governor did all that before the NLC came up and saying they are talking with the federal government, where everybody said, Lagos State has increased their minimum wage to 70,000 naira. And he said, no, he didn't. What he did was 35,000 naira for the state workers is still there, but he now gave them 35,000 naira for living wage, which you can use to buy food, transport, support. Just to support. It's something he did on his own as governor of Lagos State. So, for me, that's why I keep going back to that thing, that Mr. Governor is a man that has a listening ear.
Okay, still on the health sector, the Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, has said that the state aims to attract patients not only from within Nigeria but also globally, and looking at making Lagos a medical hub. What's your take on this, please? I
think it's achievable. Why as we say, India, people are suffering in India. But when people are sick, besides going to Europe, I know some people that went to India. So I think it's very, very, very much achievable. When my father was alive, there was one time he slumped and he had an issue. He stayed in Lasut for almost 3 weeks. You understand? And he was treated with the best of care.
We have capable hands
Yes, we have capable hands there. And my father now, who was the former deputy governor of Lagos State, is dead now, maybe over 8 years. You know, so for something like that to have happened at that time, so where how the Commissioner of Health is coming up with this, I think is very much achievable, very much achievable.
Okay, what are some areas or criticisms, you know, where the Sanwo-Olu administration needs improvement? You know, you've said a lot about what he is doing, what he has done, the achievements, but you know, we cannot have 100%, you know, when it comes to being human and, you know, managing people and infrastructure. So which areas would you think, you know, that needs improvement in the Lagos state?
Personally, the area that I think that we need to improve on is the area of tourism.
Tourism.
We are not, I don't think we're not catching it the way we're supposed to catch it.
Okay.
And we have a tourism hub in Lagos State, which everybody knows is Badagry. You know, so, and we also have to create avenues to how to get to that place because if we are going to bring in foreigners or what have you.
There's a 10-lane road that is being
constructed, yes, it's currently ongoing, yes. Yes, so, and those, because that is also an area that can bring in Forex, not just Naira. Because if we have easy access to those places, we can always, our tourism tours, people can bring in people from outside of the country and take them to those places. And I'm sure they'll have a very good time because it takes them back in history.
But as an indigene of Lagos,
yes,
you know, what do you think are the immediate needs of residents?
Well, the immediate needs of residents is not much. People want electricity in their houses. People want food on their table. People want to have money to spend, money power. Those are the basic things an everyday Nigerian or everyday Lagos resident wants. And why do we have so many businesses in Lagos State? Now, one of the most popular businesses that I have noticed is the POS. If you just go on the road, you see one woman sitting in a chair. She won't even have an umbrella. She just sitting in a chair and she'll carry a POS in her hand. That is a business she has created for herself. So why are they doing that? It's because what everybody needs is money. How to put to her, don't pay me. I want to be a business. I want to be a CEO for myself. So that's basically what the general public or the general Nigerian or general Lagos resident needs. That money to take that money to be able to go to the market. And buy things and put on their table. Basically. Feed their children, be happy. That's basically it.
So in terms of wealth creation and employment, how far has the government done?
Well, like you said, it's, you know, this is the first year. Mr. Governor still has about 3 years to go.
I was going to say first year of second term.
Yeah, first year of second term, yes, yes. So, but, you know, all these other projects we have been talking about, he did in the last year, in the last 4 years.
It's like a follow-up.
And Lagos is one of the most complex states because, especially during this rainy season, you have to clean all the drainages because of flood. You have to constantly clean it so that when it rains, you can be sleeping in your house and want every rain start pouring down. There are some places in Lagos State today that their roofs have issues, that when rain comes like this, it's a problem. They cannot sleep. And flooding. There are some houses that you go outside, you just see water in front of their house. They can't come out that day until the water disappears. You know, so it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress as far as I'm concerned. And I think Mr. Governor is doing well, you know, and he is with these new innovations, and he has, you know, with the IT and all that at work now, you know, because if you run the traffic lights, in those days, you guys, if it's 12 a.m., you can run the traffic lights. But now, if it's 12 a.m., if I'm on Allen Avenue, I know that there's a camera there. So I will just stay there until the only thing I will do, I'll make sure I'm wind up and my doors are locked, you know. So, And so when he gives me the sign, I now move. Because if I break that light, regardless of the time, I will get a ticket. They just send me a ticket, or the day you go and do your renewal of your thing, VIO will tell you that you owe them 40,000 naira, you know, that kind of thing. So, and that is because of the IT. You know, so those are new innovations that we are getting used to it. Because if you go abroad, regardless of the time of the day, you cannot run any light. Even at 2 a.m., a police officer can pull you aside that you just ran the traffic light. You know, so, but I'm sure by God's grace we'll get there.
Recently, the Ministry of Environment has, you know, been
very busy.
Very busy, let's put it that way. But a lot of Lagos residents are not happy with the demolition of houses that were built on drainages. One happened in Maryland here, Mende, and you know, various demolitions too have happened in the Lekki axis of a state, which hasn't made this administration very popular. How would you rate the effort of a Ministry of Environment?
Well, you have to understand one thing, that if you are building your house, two places you are not supposed to build your house on. One, drainages. Two, under the power line. If you get away for it for 10 or 20 years, it doesn't mean that you get away for it forever. So maybe it will be that when you are now an old man, that you have collected your pension and you are just sitting outside enjoying yourself. That's when the state will come and say, because it's under the power line or you are built on a drainage, they are going to break it down. Because I myself, when I was building my own house, I was close to the power line. I had to drop back intentionally. You know, even though it cut off a lot of my space, but I had to drop back because I know it was close to the power line. So these are things.
No, was there no advice initially from the Ministry of Lands to tell you that no, you were not supposed to build beyond?
But this is Lagos State. You know, hardly
And
people avoid the lands or last back or all these people because they say, I'll go there now. They tell me to come and pay 2 million naira. Where do I find that kind of money? You know, so they avoid them. But you yourself, as you are supposed to educate yourself.
Do your due diligence.
Yes, because if they come tomorrow and say this is the reason, and the reason is like, it makes a lot of sense. How do you say they have all the rights in the world to bring that house down? So you go and build on a drainage is nobody's fault but yours.
All right, we've been having interesting conversation here in the studio, but we'll take a short break now. We'll bring you our Lagos sense, and when we return, the conversation continues. Welcome back. You had her experience there. She was robbed, but despite all, Lagos is a fun place to be. We still have in the studio with us Prince Adeniyi Jafujo, who is talking about Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration in the last 1 year. But, you know, you share with us, sir. Do you have any experience that you might want to share with us on the show today?
In terms of the Lagos?
Yes.
Well, I'm a Lagosian. So, and I believe in Lagos, you know, and that is why we have so many people from the different tribes, different cultures that are here. And one of the things that they always say about we Lagos indigents is that we are very accommodative. We accommodate a lot of people. For me, Lagos sense, one of the things that I enjoy so much about Lagos is the nightlife.
The nightlife?
Yes, the nightlife. You know, you go to certain places where you can go and relax, you know, which is also part of tourism.
Yes.
Because we call that the entertainment aspect of tourism. You know, you can go to a lounge, you know, they'll play nice soft music, and you and your friends, or you want to do a birthday party, you go to a particular place. You know, those kind of places, you find a lot of them nowadays in Lagos State, in different local governments, you know. But the only thing I always tell people is that me personally, I'm a very security conscious person. So regardless of where I am, I'm very security conscious. So basically when people are in areas, they shouldn't get carried away. They should, because
and it doesn't just apply to Lagos.
No.
There are other big cities around the world.
Yeah, because because there was I think a survey they did of risk, I think yesterday or so, that I was listening on the radio, that certain local governments, their criminal whatever has increased. The places where we used to be afraid of, the Mushi, the this, the that, Mushi has come to 6%. Agege has gone to 8%. You understand? Even Lekki too is on the high side. You know, so, and most people wouldn't think that, why would Lekki be on the high side? That's where that's where the bourgeois live. But we're forgetting the fact that in some of these local governments, there are still some indigenous places there. Ajah, for example, there's a village. There are villages in Ajah where you go, you can get palm wine. You know, you can get this kind of thing.
You sound like someone that likes to enjoy his life.
It's a Lagosian.
I know. The reason I know a little about all these things is because I was, at one point in my lifetime, I was heavily involved in tourism. You know, so, and at that time, I was one of the officers that go abroad to market tourism for Nigeria.
Okay, just before we go,
Yes.
how would you describe Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's leadership style, and how has it affected his administration's effectiveness?
I think his leadership style will be more or less like a friend, not a dictator. You understand? You know, if you're a dictator, you will not get the best out of your people, the people that are working with you. You won't get the best out of. You become what they call a yes man. You know, even if it's wrong, whatever you say, they'll say yes sir, because they don't want to lose their jobs for whatever reasons. But I think he brings people together. He works with people. I remember, not in this administration, but the last administration, when we had the Awori Day. To my own surprise, he came. I wasn't expecting him to come. Yes, he supported the program, but I wasn't expecting him to come. But he came, and he mixed up with the people, danced around, went around the whole place and everything, you know. And so I think his leadership style brings people together. And if you can if you're able to bring people together, their ideas, you can hear it. And if those ideas make a lot of sense, you know, like the waste to energy, I was told that it was something that it was something that was initiated by the Ministry of Environment. So that's somebody's idea from that place.
He's a listening governor.
He's a listening governor. Kudos to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And we've been talking to Prince Adeniyi Jafojo, a political analyst, talking about the past 1 year of the governor's administration.